Hypocrisy, hypocrisy is a science so well developed that it is virtually a religion. Take, for example, the claim that people make real through their beliefs, what is real because of their beliefs. It's common in Hollywood, and of course, it's been expressed by theocrats, people who are spiritualists, um, justifying extreme measures to enforce faith in God, despite human conduct. Yeah, someone might take into consideration your conduct, but if you're a disbeliever, you're still excluded. And a believer is more likely to get away with things that are misconduct. And in the United States, we separated sectarianism from the development of law enforcement for practical reasons, because we want to make sure that people um, develop in peaceful ways towards one another. And the laws are measured by failure to do so. So I want to adjust my focus in this to specifically address Ming-Na Wen and Martin Sheen's claim that Ringo Starr's claim that I had what was done to me coming because I was framing Ronald Reagan, who, as everyone knows, I despised. The truth is the truth. It was Reagan. And I didn't know that and didn't dare let myself consider it. I gave him the benefit of the doubt for reasons that are pertinent to American judicial norms, presumption of innocence. Now, they inveigled, these Trumpy impunities, the idea that I was framing him through witchcraft or something, and started reacting in a pre-designed way against the witch of liberalism. So let me explain why I didn't like Reagan. For one thing, because of Joan Baez, I associated him with, the reactionary forces behind such tragedies as what happened at Kent State. She boogie monstered him at Woodstock, and I was a child and I was susceptible to suggestion. And I was growing up and I watched his personality cult grow. His first inaugural speech, he started talking about a mighty engine, America being a mighty engine. I thought, well, we're choking the planet. Of course, his best friend, Robert Fripp, was running around saying, soon to be another ice age. Virginity proves rape and all of this other evil idiocy, as Martha Johan would put it. But he also, when I asked him about ecology, he put it at the bottom of a list and said something about all Americans getting a piece of the expanding pie. I couldn't imagine what he was talking about. Is he sleeping with a fast hoe in Las Vegas or something? I shouldn't say hoe. You know what I'm saying. But it's the Howard Stern generation mentality that was inculcated into my psyche by authors of things like I Hate Your Blouse, who were burning our girls' arms, gangrenous at Mr. Rogers and stuff, and then getting the girls panting, oh, we like his locker room jazz more than the queer bait. And nobody ever said, don't call James Craig a queer bait. They were all like, queer bait, ha 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 ha. He wants to be called that. So why didn't I like Reagan? Was because he attacked liberalism. And I want to talk a little bit about the attack on liberalism, the scorn for liberalism, the spite for liberalism, and the turning of liberalism into a burned effigy, demanding redemption for treason by burning somebody alive. The Carl brothers mentality that's I'm stuck in Tacoma with, and comes from Putin and all of that jazz. Um, and you can figure out from the alliance of Karl and Putin that obviously, I mean, it's not like Russian spyware. Karl's were religious, military, right wing American extremists. So it's Old Testament stuff. But, sectarianism, like to say, is like a brother who comes and kicks your notebooks, blowing all the pages in the wind while saying he agrees with you. So I don't want to turn this into a religious spiel. I do accept Herbert Egar's argument that the Bill of Rights was based on a Christian idea that men were created equal before the laws of God, and that no man could sit in absolute judgment, or something like this. I mean, that would be my. I don't study those things very often, but liberalism meant public schools, teaching people, learning about eco schools. It wasn't like the Old Testament God saying, "I'll smash your good works. I'll smash your good works. I'll smash no matter what you try to do." With the mighty engine turbine of flame over Africa that's going on right now, from the Deluge headquarters beginning in World War I, all of the thinking of the futurists, Mussolini's crowd. Um, what's our hate? He started it. He added insult to injury. My father died, and he was dumping on liberals. Now, when I went to the governor's school, you could see perfectly clearly the mania behind the way I was tortured for promoting an ideology from the right wing camp of Donald Trump. The scorn for liberalism. Go ahead, why don't you just go shoot one? No one's going to care, is his message. The mania comes from um, their money bags. I mean, they don't care about anything but themselves. Trump says, I'm not good with that and empathy gas. So they're not going to empathize with somebody who deplores what they are doing. It's the last person they're going to empathize with. So what you can see when I went to the governor's school is I was in a semi-trance from an impacted neuroplasm, traumatic concussion, being kidnapped and gassed and tortured and hypnotized and subject to brutal. I mean, Jaime Carbonell should have immediately called Pitt psychiatry and said James was tortured the minute he made that famous rabbit tape. He should have immediately identified Jimmy was tortured. Come here quickly and help him. Something is wrong. But instead, he said, ha 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 ha, licky chops, and sold it with Shulman to Putin by way of Brian Eno and EMAD and their nomads. So they put on this honky tonk show from the Palace of London operating out of CMU, linguistics, and used natural language to extrude what they had implanted. So I was a mess, but it was obvious that the target was important because I could not comprehend Schultz and Eaton. I was starting to use the mind that I was born to have developed. Now, if Pitt was anything, they would have said this man was the child of our senior faculty. We need to intervene and help him. He was tortured. The evidence is clear. But they said, no, these people used Ronald Reagan, Caspar Weinberger's name, Ronnie Zinski, Kasparowski, and Dusseldorf to promote Jewry. And Jojo Goebbels is an honorary the black man and the leader of the JDL. And Michael Reagan said, I forgive the school's misconduct because their heart was in the right place.